Today is June 5th. The Yankees sweep the Tigers just like Jake told you they would. The worst pitching performance from the starter was 6.1 earned runs. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy, Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, theme, and hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talking Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy, and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy, and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, presented to you by SeatGeek. Something's happening. I got more noises than I need over here on my end. I got it, though. I fixed it. Presented to you by SeatGeek. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake, and we got BBD. I'm down the shore. Got to spend some time at the beach for the weekend. Jake went away for the weekend to Kelsey's wedding, and now we're back to watch the Yankees. They sweep. I mean, they just continue to win and pitch and come back. So, I don't know. Do we just rinse and repeat all the episodes from the past? Do it over again? How you doing?
James, BBD, everyone live in the chat, everyone not live, everyone ready for summer. Woo!
Woo.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I tried to tell everyone at the end of last episode, like, you probably don't need to watch this. Yankees are going to sweep. Some of the numbers are getting jarring. Some of the numbers are almost getting, like, too good. I think the Yankees now, when they have a lead in the seventh inning, they are, like, 32-0.
I think 31-0, yeah.
Yeah. Since their 7-6 start, the massacre in Baltimore, they are 32-9. Everyone's doing their Judge is on pace for 60-plus homers. We just hit the 1/3 mark of the season, exactly 54 games.
We did.
James Smythe, yep.
That's of note. Good note, Jake.
And Jim,
Yeah,
if
James
you
Smythe.
multiply the Yankees wins by 3, you get 117. We're doing a lot of on pace stuff, but the most regular season wins by a team is 116. Things are special and fantastic. Like you said in the open, our bad start this series, if we had to remove one start, would be 6.2 two-earned runs.
Well, and also, that's the 10th time starting pitcher has gone 6 innings or more in a row. I said in my little post game on Twitter, I don't know if Katie Sharp's posted it, but how many, I can look it up, I think. How many starts last year did we get from a starter that was 6 innings pitched or more, not named Cole?
Right.
I'm actually curious. I don't know. BBD, I don't know if you can, if you have a way to look that up while we do the show or something, or you can ask Katie, but I shouldn't do it. I should stay focused on the show, but I'm interested in the answer there. Or anyone at home in the chat. Jake, I do have, for anyone listening, it's like, wow, same stuff over and over again. I'm going to tune out and just enjoy my day. I do have a nugget that I like someone told me that I want to share at the end of the show.
Oh, you got to wait for it. I gave a few of my nuggets right off the rip.
No, I'm going to save this one for later on. And
we're saving our nuggets, dog.
Yeah. And there are some good conversations to have because Andujar requested to be traded.
I got more nuggets.
Jake's got more nugs. So stay tuned.
We'll probably do the, should Monty be sent down conversation, Andujar. Yeah, all of it.
Andujar.
Yep.
Oh, that's what I wanted to look up. Okay, Jake, can you burn game 1?
Holy smokes, you think so?
Unless there's more housekeeping. Do you want to do the Andujar stuff now? I think we can do it later.
I think we could do it now or later. So it's whatever you're craving for, Big Daddy.
No, I want to do it later because I want to look up a stat and it might tie into something, an award or something like that.
He wants to do it later. There may be awards.
We got to keep the people hooked.
There'll definitely be awards. Okay.
Game 1. Burn, Jake, burn.
The Detroit Tigers and E-Rod. Well, not that E-Rod. Elvin Rodriguez would take on the best team in baseball, the New York Yankees, and Gerrit Cole trying to carry the torch for the Yankees starting pitchers. Bottom 3, hit the music. Trevino, let the rhythm take you over, Trevino. Te quiero, catcher homers. Like a family meeting someone's new girlfriend, we are judging on the porch. Homer 20 for Big Aaron Judge. 2-0 Yanks after 3. Make it 12. Yankees must have provided great service because, boy, did they have a nice tip. Tony Meatballs is ready for early Sunday dinner, a.k.a. 4:30. That's how far it went. Carpenter nails another. Meanwhile, on the bump, Cole was perfect. Into the 7th, the day after J-Mo, Cole matches 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 9 Ks, 0 earned runs. Ban the wave, Banuelos. Killer B finally makes his long-awaited Yankee debut. As Yankees win in a rout, it's 13-0 final.
What a good short porch line from you. That's a new one.
What are
5
you
years
talking-
in, you're coming up with new short porch
What are you
stuff.
talking about?
New judging and short porch. And,
I don't know what you're talking about.
In the history of the Burns, Judge has been a Yankee and the short porches exist, and somehow a new idea crept into that funky little head of yours.
A little peanut mug I've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was kicking myself. I was writing these on the flight home while I was listening to John Sterling on the call, Susan. And I was like, man, I don't really have anything cool for Judge. And that would be like, if I took things seriously, it would be like, that's the guy I should have like dialed. Like that should be my numero uno, like burn target. And the Judge ones, it's all the court stuff. Don't watch as much Judge Judy anymore as I'd like. But yeah, I figured, the porch, judgment, judging, and then we got there.
Okay. I liked it. And I liked this game.
Yeah,
It was fun.
did.
It was interesting. Cole was great. Obviously Trevino homers, Judge homers, and then I was up all night thinking about that really weird sequence, saying that's weird, and then made the video, which was like the most adrenaline I've had making a breakdown this year. And I think it's at 1.5 million on Twitter already. So that was fun. But yeah, I mean, I haven't talked to you about it at all, but the kid was tipping his pitches, and the Yankees, this is what I want to, this isn't the nugget I was talking about, but something I wanted to tell you or ask your opinion on, or I don't know, whatever. This is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
When
Why don't you just tell me it and I'll react?
When we hung out with Josh Tolley,
Yes.
remember? We talked to him about getting traded to the Blue Jays, and he was on those Blue Jays teams with Donaldson, Joey Bats. I forget who else was there. Tulowitzki.
Really good teams. Really good Toronto teams.
And the one thing he told us about that team was that those guys were incredible at picking up pitchers' tells. And like Josh Donaldson was part of that group, and Batista, they were just incredible at it, but he could never see it. He was like, they'd tell me and I still couldn't see what they were seeing.
Right.
This was Josh Donaldson's first game back off the IL. I don't know if we have no idea who saw it. If like Luis Rojas could have seen it, but Josh Donaldson was on first.
People in the Yankees front office, we know they do that.
They didn't have it in the second inning, but they had it after that. And Trevino, and Trevor Plouffe has told us that like if you're not a starting player, like all the pitchers and all the bench players, your job is to stare at that pitcher and figure something out. Like everyone is trying to find that all the time. But the Donaldson effect, like kind of threw me in, like maybe if that was him, that's beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, we have no idea. It's pretty cool, and it's so funny to think if that Trevino quote unquote triple gets caught. I mean, Elvin who knows? Who knows how the rest of the baseball story unravels? And we know, we've referenced it many times, the Nathan Eovaldi wild card game, they had it on Nate Dogg. They just couldn't hit him. Funny sport, man. And yeah, the kid gets got, and they just start locking in. I mean, Rizzo pounds one, it adds to his impressive resume of like, what you can do on a baseball field. I mean, we'll talk about him a lot, especially come game 3 as well. But yeah, man, I mean, Joe Madden alluded to it last series that for Shohei, and even Syndergaard, it seemed like the Yankees were able to sniff some stuff out. Now I don't know. Syndergaard, his stuff didn't pass the eye test that start, and Shohei, it's kind of the old baseball term. They said it on the broadcast. Like, Shohei looked like he was searching for it the whole game. Not necessarily that the Yankees were on him, but more so he wasn't on his stuff. But yeah, they picked up on something from the kid. You had the fantastic breakdown on it. Journalist John Boy, when that comes out, you better watch your butts. But yeah, and like I'll say something as half a joke, half not a joke. That's one of the strengths of Talkin' Yanks. Like, I think one of the people that's supposed to be special about that stuff in baseball is Carlos Beltran. Like, I think that's half the reason they got him in the yes booth now. Just keep him away from other organizations, because, that's something that's supposed to be like one of his gifts as well. So, yeah, we've heard there's people that work in the Yankees front office that are some of the most skilled in baseball at it. Someone like Josh Donaldson that you mentioned, he is what Gerrit Cole is a doctor of pitching, like Josh Donaldson is a doctor of hitting. Anthony Rizzo's been through a lot of baseball games. I picture Stanton not caring. Hey, throw it and let me hit it, bitch.
I think Stan wants to know.
Yeah, Stan. Every hitter wants to know.
What I really want to know, and I just speculated this, and like maybe this is it, and it definitely, like, Carpenter followed me at one point. I was like, okay, so he just got told in the clubhouse or something like that.
What's up?
And I pulled it up to DM him, and I didn't, because I'm like, whatever, I don't want to bother him. But I want to know if he bunted to get the guy to the stretch,
right?
Because that was even the broadcast. That was the first, like, what the hell's going on here? Like, it's a 2-0 game. Carpenter put one to the track in his last at bat. He's got 3 hits that are all homers on the season, and there were 2 outs. So what does a bunt single do for you with Kiner and Trevino behind you and 2 outs? You're basically banking on a 2-out rally instead of trying to hit another home run, which you have been doing. That bunt, I like bunting if he did it with no outs, you're like, oh yeah, start a rally. But to lay that down and beat the shift on a bunt with 2 outs was I was just kind of, and you could hear the booth say, oh, 2 outs. Okay. Like, it was weird.
Yeah.
And then the whole Trevino at bat was like smelly. It's like, what the hell? Why is Trevino only getting sliders? And why was he all over that 3-2 slider? That was a decent pitch. But I would really, if we ever do like a media day again and Carpenter's around, I'll remind me to ask him, even if it's off camera, be like, hey, that to get him in the stretch?
Yeah, I think 1,000% was. The only counter would be is like flipping the Yankees lineup over. That's, and with the bottom of their lineup being weak, if you can get through another body. But yeah, I mean, and knowing what we know now. But yeah, I guess we can remind each other of the reminders.
Okay, great. Remind each other of the reminders.
Gerrit Cole had a perfect game going.
He did, after J-Mo's perfect game. So the stadium just getting like treats of a homestand. This might be the best June homestand in 10 years. I don't know, whatever. Like they kept saying it. Like the game we were at Thursday was
right.
Playoff vibes. And then my brother and my parents were at this game, and they said it was awesome vibes. It's June. First third of the season. Against the Angels and the Tigers. If it's the Red Sox, sure, you're going to get that, but it's pretty cool.
our guy Dan Rourke, who has a way with words when he doesn't mean to.
He had a great tweet.
He was in the office Friday, and I quote. Well, I didn't quote tweet him. I bleeped out the name. But he basically said, like, it's summer's here, like it's hot outside. The Yankees are dominant, and it feels like that's how God wants things. And then
the Rangers.
And after that, he kind of firmly said, and we get caught up. We're in our early 30s. There's a lot of people in this office that are in their early 20s that like kind of miss that 90s era of baseball that we were first introduced to the game. And Dan was saying, like, this team is playing how he was told those teams felt. Like, and they are. And they are. Like, look at this series, man. Basically back-to-back perfect games. They're up 13-0 in the first one. They're just a factory right now. Literally off on a pace to what would break the best record for a regular season baseball team.
Yes. I mean, they're automatic. And you know what? You know what's the odd part? And this is where we get to be cocky Yankee fans, because you're like, it'll come down. Like the other shoe, like that, they'll have a rougher stretch. They'll have like a 500-ish month, but it won't affect the record really. But then you think, well, if they were to have that, it would kind of be the last 2 weeks with Stanton and JD on the IL and Rizzo slugging, Gallo and Hicks not participating, and the bullpen being decimated. And they just went on a tear. They just won 6 in a row.
They've won 6 in a row. It is a homestand. And the
but
pitching,
I'm saying, like,
the pitching
they're not
was
whole right now.
The starting pitching is as good as starting pitching has like ever been in a rotation. So that's, I'll bow down to the baseball gods a little bit. Like the baseball gods can rear their head. We are getting a pitching performance every night that gives any team in baseball a shot. And
you just hope that if the pitching falters, the bats or the bullpen can make up for it.
Well, Aaron Judge is also continuing his MVP campaign. So while a couple things went wrong, it can definitely, a baseball season can sneak up on you worse than that. But no, I mean, I hate to say I was laughing pretty hard, but you and I, we've been doing this for 5 years now or whatever, and seeing Miguel Andujar saying he wants to be traded, it's like, oh, you're the last person waiting. Everyone else on the Yankees organization has been on the bus waiting for that. So
I believe he asked for it last year too.
Yeah. And then you what's the juxtapose his ability to hit with what we saw Tigers hitters trying to do the first 2 games of the series, and it's like it was pretty funny. Yankee fans, even in their, there's that 1% of every fan base that sucks. And I go back, I think game 2 of this year, Aaron Judge got a couple boo birds because he was making outs and he turned down the $213 million. Pretty funny that a Yankee player who's liked demanded a trade, and everyone's like, yeah, you're right. Like, yeah, no.
Like, Voit did it last year, and they turned on him.
And he got last year wasn't real.
Yeah, I guess that's a product of last year.
Yeah,
more than anything else.
So,
I guess, yeah.
Anything else from this game? Yeah, Donaldson, the only one without a hit. Again, half tongue-in-cheek. It's funny, Hicks gets the hit with runners in scoring position, and then we find out that there was tipping after the game. It's kind of like the Hicks-Gallo conversation that's been overhanging this whole season. It's, Gallo's not in this game, so he essentially doesn't get free at-bats against a pitcher that's tipping. As they continue their race for the 9-hole of this lineup. Matt Carpenter, man, how about him?
And I think we saw today that even if he's not in the starting lineup, he's a legitimate pinch hitter, which they don't have and haven't had this season, and is a nice thing to have. I think I think something would have to happen for him to not be here for a while because of that ability to back up first and third, be a lefty, use the short porch, and pinch hit.
Yeah, and I think not necessarily a negative note, but what we know about the Yankees organization and what we saw today too, they've almost in a way with the Carpenter breakout, like they'll be able to have one or two pinch hitters off the bench and still be able to put out a decent lineup. They had Carpenter and Stan available to go today. And I think they might like that as well, because that's some greedy Yankees-ish.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. All right, want to burn game 2?
I want to look one thing up really quickly, if you don't mind.
You can look everything up that you want.
No,
dude.
Because if I start bringing up islands, I could get lost for days.
That's true.
Have we seen? We haven't seen Matt Carpenter play the field yet. So I guess that's my only, let's circle that as a note of now, because we think he can play third and first, but do the Yankees think he can play third and first?
True. And then do they need him to? I guess. Yeah. No, that's a good note. We haven't seen him at all yet?
DH, 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 pinch hit, DH, 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 pinch hit.
Cool.
So, we'll see.
We will see.
I mean, in 2021 for the Cardinals, he played first, second, and third. I don't know what that looked like, but of note as of now.
If you're a Cardinals fan, let us know.
Let us know, all the Cardinals fans listening to Talkin' Yanks.
They exist, man.
Oh, I know it.
They're out there. They're out there. Let's do game 2. How could we possibly do better than game 1?
It's Sevy Saturday in the Bronx as he tries to somehow keep up with his rotation mates as the Tigers would get frisky with Brisky, a Bo Brisky on the bump. Blackjack, 21 showing for Aaron Judge as he flips the first pitch of the game out of the park. 1-0 Yanks. It'd stay that way into the 6th. Anthony Bourdain Rizzo visits parts unknown with another solo shot. 2-0. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. Luis Severino, 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, kind of. 0 earned runs, 10 Ks. The sac fly is underrated as Donaldson drives in Higgy, but the pitching is not. Sevy to King to Robot Horse. Yanks win 3-0 as they no-hit the Tigers. Sorry, IKF. Let's go, Yanks.
Oh, man. How about Sevy? How about the Yankees? But how about Sevy, man? I mean, I know it's been talked about. I saw our dude Joe's talking about it. And a lot of people say he's a more complete pitcher now than the Sevy we used to know. He got more pitches. I don't know. I would love to hear the story about that and ask him, do you think, I think Joe said at one point that he said that the new arm, the way his arm feels has helped the changeup.
Right.
But I wonder also mentality wise, if he kind of, was like, hey, I need more. I need to do more. Saw Cole have 4 pitches, saw Monty have 5, and realized I can't just be kind of fastball slider guy. But he's nasty.
Yeah, you'd like to see his cutter usage. He really throws them to only one part of the dish. Yeah, I was because I had a weird moment, and Yankee fans. Oh, okay. I was gonna attack them for a second. I should reset. I knew the tweet wasn't going to be perfectly received, but Jakey Baseball, in one of my savant moments, him and King pair perfectly together. Because Sevy right now is about 75% fastball changeup. And that's kind of surprising, right? Because we know Sevy's got a pretty good slider. We know he's been working in the cutter. But with King coming in with that devilish two-seamer and the sweeping slider, I had like a deja vu moment where like it's October 13th and Sevy and King just combined for 9 innings, 1 earned run. Like I think those two are macaroni and cheese and chicken dish. What goes well with mac and cheese? Like, what's your ideal mac and cheese pairing? Brisket? People like barbecue and mac and cheese.
Yeah, it's anything on a grill. I mean, a burger, a brisket.
Maybe that was the pairing. But yeah, man. And hey, do we need to put just the smallest of asterisks and talk about how bad these Tigers are? Maybe. But Sevy looks fantastic. The baseball savant echoes it.
But
and it all feels great.
Yeah, the Tigers aren't really a swinging team, but then compare other teams' performances against them. I don't know if they had a perfect game of one hitter.
Right. No hitter.
So,
it was a no hitter.
Dude, you know what? They kept showing the slow-mo replay of it.
Yeah.
And that kept making me think, and we're talking about the ball that right at Kiner that he didn't get. And that slow-mo replay looked like it was just humped right towards him and was like, dude, come on. Yeah, how is that? But then I looked up the exit velo. It's 109 miles per hour off the bat. And then I watched it in live time, and I was like, no, that was. And then I heard Kiner talk about it, and he was like, well, I thought I had it, but it had slider movement and just dipped, and I just needed to protect my face. And I'm fine. I'm not really upset about that one. But the slow-mo makes it look catchable, like slow-mo tends to do. Like I looked at the slow-mo and I was like, it wasn't that fast. It had a hump to it. And then he's like, then it find out, no, it was 109 with that movement.
Yeah, that was
pretty tough.
It was a 109 knuckler. That was the R.A. Dickey's The Thing, but thrown at Little League distance. And that's I tweeted it out as a joke. I was like, I'm going to call in to WFAN tonight and say that IKF keeps blowing our perfect games. I didn't do that.
Didn't make the call.
Jess hates when I do that, but yeah.
Call in, tell Keith.
I thought about it. I had to attending Kelsey's wedding and enjoying myself there. So I'll call in another time, Keith.
Yankees are a little spoiled with exit velo stuff, Judge and Stanton, and they're kind of sick of it. But guys don't hit the ball 109 very often. Yankees do. Other guys don't. So that was a real one.
Yeah, that was fast. Okay. Yada yada yada. What else? What else from this game?
What else from this game? I mean, Rizzo, he hits the homer. We've been talking about his bounce back month and not worrying about July. If he does, this boded well for this.
Never mind.
Okay.
I don't know if you're giving it out as an award later, but Judge is the leadoff batter.
Right. First pitch
homer, which is hilarious because they asked Judge and he said, I asked DJ and some of the guy and Hicksy, like, what do you do when you're, what's a leadoff approach and stuff. And they said, don't do anything different. And he swings at the first pitch. I mean, homers, but it's funny because that's like, leadoff guy is supposed to see pitches, work the count. And if you do swing, get it. And he swings and he gets it because he's Judge. Devastating. I mean, I don't like Judge in the leadoff spot, and it was only because DJ was sitting, but your old adage, do what the other team doesn't want you to do. Bo Brisky did not want to face Judge leadoff.
No. And Bo Brisky looked pretty good on this day. Yeah, it's not a part of the storyline of the season yet, because DJ, we still kind of want to tap into that. But yeah, man, and we saw Judge come up in big spots today, and that's the whole argument behind the leadoff spot is that you get that guy up more. So I don't know. It hurts my baseball traditionalist a little bit too. I said before the season, and I'll say right now, if DJ's right, I still think that's the Yankees' scariest lineup scenario. But, not going to be closed off to it because, man, that ain't a bad way to start the game.
Are you going to talk about King later on at all? He appears in 2 games this series, and in this game was really his first time being used as like an 8th inning holds guy. Your best case scenario here is just 1 inning. That's all we want. We have our closer up. It's the first time we've seen him kind of deployed in that way. And then in game 3, which we haven't burned yet, we see it again in extra innings. But at one point, you and I were asking, keep him stretched out, and now they're not. But I think we both are okay with it because of the circumstances of Chad, Johnny, and Chappie going down.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit out of necessity, and that's kind of how it works. And yeah, I mean, I was watching with BBD in the office, and both kind of eyebrows went up because it was back-to-back days, which Kinger had not done that this season. I'd have to look even back at past years to see if he's done that. But yeah, no, I'm fine with it for now. And I guess the thing is, as this season goes and develops, whatever happens, guys can get stretched out. And if the playoffs roll around and we've got a 7, 8, 9 we like better than a single inning Mike King, you can do that, or you can line him up for my Sevy King pairing. I like that he can be stretched out to 35 pitches again or whatever. So, maybe you could spin it any way. Like maybe for now it's even a blessing. Maybe it saves his inning count for the year because we were on an aggressive path. But yeah.
And he looked nasty. I mean, he got it done this game 2, and then game 3 he looked like filthy.
And I know it was an extra, so it definitely wasn't a conscious effort, but also pretty smart. Definitely this year, I'll bring up the game log from last year, but I think this is probably King's first back-to-back. It's got to be. Doing it after a day where he only throws 7 pitches.
Yeah, I'm sure that factored in.
Again, he comes in the extra, so not fully factored. But, hey, it seems like we're being smart with stuff.
I like that. Let's smartly move on to the game 3 burn.
Well, heck, let's see what's going on down on the farm. 2 former Yankees farmhands. Ronnie Jerry Garcia tries to show the Tigers aren't dead versus Jordan Montgomery going for the sweep. Yankees go down 2-0. Baez and Daz, a couple Z's, lull Monty to sleep. 6.12 earned for Monty, but bottom 5, Joey sends him to the gallows. Holy cow, like a good night out. We are tied up at 2s. A new hit song from DJ 26. This one's called Walk. RBI walk for DJ. 3-2 lead. The bullpen holds. They don't. 4-3 Tigers. What's happening? Jeff passing, but Jim bottom 8. Torres, a little fielder's choice. Rizzo scores on the error. Torres goes to second. It's 4-4. Buenos Cantos in the boogie down. Mike King holds, and Donaldson sacrifices himself for the team. The Yankees walk it off. They go Monty to Schmidt to Castro to Wandy to Mike King. They sweep the Tigers as they win 5-4 final.
Good stuff. A good game. You were traveling. Oh, it was on an app. We were traveling. You got to watch the end of The Office. I was tweeting about it. That's the best national broadcast I've seen. That broadcast was basically take all of my brain of what I've wanted from a national broadcast and do it. They had a simple score bug. They had color analysts from both teams. I actually thought Flash was great. I thought he was better than and like more energetic than when he does some Yankee games. And Jack Morris was good too, who I don't know if he's good over there. They showed the game. They didn't do too many like split screens or infield things. I think they missed a couple pitches, and I also love the 8:30 in the morning start. So I just want to get that out there. I'm pretty tough critic of baseball broadcasts, and I went into it thinking, oh no,
Right.
and like Apple has the great cameras,
Right.
but the rest of it I'm not thrilled with. This was delightful, and I like the 11:30 start, so I was happy with that. I already pay for Peacock. I should say that if I had to spend money for a single game, that would have bothered me as well.
Yeah, I was radio on the flight because airplane Wi-Fi is still like a fake Wi-Fi. Nobody's really talked about that. Like, kind of what are we doing airplanes? Like, it just feels like it's there, but it's not. So yeah, I was Sterling and Susan, which again, you know, I enthuse, not sure if that's a word, any Yankee fan to go, you know, once or twice a month. Go get you some John and Susan because you're going to get some lines that are just unmatched.
Did you, oh my God, were you listening to him? Because I was at the beach and then running errands with my dad, but it was always on my phone, which is great about the app.
Right.
But were you listening when Gallo struck out with the bases loaded?
Sure was.
Oh my God. Were you BBD? Were you running Jay Sterling calls or anything? Did you have it on?
I think that was like right when I got to the office or close to it. I hadn't fired up Sterling yet.
Gallo looks at the fastball 0-2 for strikeout 3, and Sterling just dropped like that was horrible. Oh, that was awful.
That was yeah. He didn't sugarcoat that Susan game like, oh, I don't what, I'm not sure what he's arguing about.
Yeah.
No, I mean there's just some stuff that you can't replicate in nature. Susan, you know, I've mentioned it before. I first realized Anthony Rizzo's a very sick man in the head. He loves getting hit by pitches, on bunts, how far in he plays. And so Susan, you know, strumming up good baseball convo, goes, look how far Anthony Rizzo is on the infield. John, can you remember anyone doing? I can't remember any player doing that. And he goes, well, Ted Simmons. And you just go, oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot. You know, 70s Cardinals Ted Simmons, how far in he used to come in for bunts. So yeah, I mean, you just get a couple moments like that are unreal, and you know, he also knows that there's some stuff where he walks all over himself, but he admits it. Like he started telling a Willie Mays story, and he's like, I picked a bad time to tell it. B, I know you guys don't care, but I'm gonna still tell it. And it's just once or twice a month, or you know, that time you can't sit in front of the TV.
So on the Peacock broadcast, when Rizzo was in like that, Jack Morris at one point goes, look where Rizzo's playing. And Flash goes, yeah, he's a good first baseman. He'll get all the way down there. And it's just so like, yes, use the people that know the teams on the broadcast. Because it was so cool to hear one guy be perplexed by it, but then immediately have another guy be like, yep, he does that. That's his normal. So good job by Peacock. I appreciate that. And again, was not expecting to enjoy it.
Expectations.
Well, but that's not particularly for them. It's
Right.
all national broadcast. And ESPN gotten better too with Coney. I just still don't like all the split screens and interviews and featurettes and podcasts and like that of ESPN.
The Peacock mid-game interviews, I'm normally pretty hard on those as well. I think they asked good questions and kept it quick.
They ask great questions.
Yeah,
like
DJ
DJ just got thrown out at third base, and they were like, "What do you got on that?" And they didn't ask anything else. They didn't like ESPN would sometimes like, "Not, I know that just happened, but we want to get back to before the game." And it's like, no, ask about the relative. So yeah, what else do you got on this game? Decision wise, I know some Gallo stuff that I got lined up. Monty pitches well. I don't think Monty's going to get an award. So if we want to talk about Monty right now, 6.1, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, found the curveball later in the game. Miguel Cabrera just got him. Did he have 3 hits and a walk?
Miggy Cabs, 3 hits and a walk. Yeah. Yankees did not get him out today.
Yeah. But again, Monty goes 6 innings. They go him out. They put him out for the 7th. He gets the out and then immediately takes him out. So that's, I guess, was the plan. It was get this guy because it's a lefty, I believe, right? It was Castro. And you're done. Looked like he knew it. Everyone knew it. You bring in Schmidt. I don't fully like still love that they do that, but I guess I can just accept it.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it a couple times, and half laziness, half your brain would dice it up differently, but their bullpen was on a crazy aggressive pace, and then there were injuries, and we were worried about everyone. Man, it obviously ties to incredible, like unreal starting pitching performances. But man, they are resting the bullpen. So that for when we're talking about this stretch and what the Yankees are up to, and things seemingly some things had gone wrong between injuries and overuse of the bullpen. What their starting pitching has done has not only saved this team in multiple aspects, but it's thrived. So, yeah, I mean, we're playing with house money a little bit, and there's a little bit of that. If Monty hadn't gotten that guy out, then we're talking about bringing Clark Schmidt, who, again, is a traditional starting pitcher, into a situation where there would have been a runner on base. That doesn't happen this time. Monty gets the lefty. And, yeah.
I would have let Monty stay. It had 90 pitches. He got sharper as the game went, I thought, and it's the bottom of the order. So that's where, and then you have Clark for the later on if you want, or then you have King if he was available, and if they get the lead in the 8 and the 9. So I'm not worried. I don't care about this.
Yeah.
I'm giving lighthearted takes here. I would have liked, for Monty's sake. I think he was only at 90 pitches. I think he could have continued. I don't really care. It all worked out.
90 pitches is Monty's high this year. So that's
of note.
Yeah, that could also be a factor there.
How much? So you have second most?
He's got an 88. He's got an 87.
Okay. So let's push him then.
He's been in the range. Yeah, I mean, for some reason, they've been that way with Monty for a little bit. So there's got to be something the numbers are telling them. But yeah, and then, it just turns into the, this whole season's been bizarre for Monty. Last season, how many times did we talk about a pissed off Monty? That I think in this situation, he gets that lefty out. He can't lose the game. You don't leave that little bit of risk for him having a bad day. So it is what it is, and it works out for the Yankees because that's kind of the only option for the Yankees right now.
Yeah. Then they do some pinch hitting. I kind of have a conversation about that for later on. So
okay,
I think that's it.
Maybe we'll get there.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's Muggsy. We're going to pivot to the awards section of the show, which is brought to you by Muggsy Jeans. The only jeans I wear, my favorite jeans. I was at the game Thursday wearing my Muggsy jeans. A lot of people came up, said hi, took pictures with us. Appreciate that. I love that. And in those pictures, I'm wearing my Muggsy jeans because they're comfortable as shit. That's their official tagline.
Yeah.
You could shit yourself and you still be comfy in these jeans.
No, I have most damn comfortable jeans around.
Oh, okay. Nothing about the shit?
No, the S word, the only S word I see in here is style.
Style. They are stylish.
More room for your testicles. Does say that.
Yeah, maybe.
your
I haven't measured, but I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, where can they go and what can they use? Do you have that?
Jim, Muggsy.com. Bang.
Yep.
Promo code Yanks, 10% off your entire order. Go check them out. The stretch jean for men. They've also got a swim collection now. I'm going to have to mess around with that. Seems a little bit more my lane. The 7-inch seams. No netting. Let the boys dance a little bit. If you haven't tried their jeans yet, you have to. I've got the black. I've got like a green pair that's a little swaggy. Muggsy.com. Promo code Yanks, 10% off your entire order. I was wearing Muggsy at the game.
You and I. Well, we were dressed very similar we're starting to dress like twins because we just wear the clothes that our sponsors send us. Yes. And there's been a couple days where we show up to the office wearing the same exact thing.
In your bra.
Ha. Ha ha. All right, we're going to go to awards.
Yeah.
The first award we give out is called the
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Yeah.
Pride of the Yankees award. I'm going to give it to a guy. There's two guys I really want to give it to.
Right.
Like two guys I really want to get her. But I can only give it to one.
Yeah.
My pride of the Yankees is Gerrit Cole.
Okay.
Gerrit Cole. Maybe my favorite outing of the year. Obviously, because all the things that I've been saying I want him to do, he did.
Yeah.
He might not value that. He might not think of it as one of his best starts of the year. I have no idea, but I thought it was good. And what I mean by that is the first 2 innings, he threw like 12 total pitches. He didn't get a single strikeout the first 2 innings. Now, clearly the Tigers had the strategy of let's ambush him and swing hard, but his stuff isn't easy to hit, even if you swing hard and it's in the zone. And that's kind of what I've been saying. Like, dude, you can get this. And that allows you to build it up. And then he started striking out people like crazy because the Tigers bottom of the order, he was in the zone and they couldn't hit it. Top of the order could put it in play, but it wasn't big hits. 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 7 innings pitched. And I did some digging on this, Jake, to kind of like back it up to see if I'm crazy or not. And what I looked at was the first 2 pitches of the at bat, the first 3 innings of the game. So first time facing a guy, basically the first 3 innings of the game, the first 2 pitches thrown. On the season before this game, he was 43% of those were balls. Really trying to get the swing and miss stuff, nibbling, maybe whatever, but 43% balls. In this game, it was 29%. So he cut it down a ton. In the first 2 innings, he only threw 2 balls in those first 2 pitches of the at-bat. So he was just attacking them with strikes early, which I liked a whole bunch. And then he also had the perfect game, obviously, and didn't unravel. The single happens, another single happens, and you're thinking, uh-oh, this isn't like a Cole story. This is like a storyline, like in baseball, that right. When you have, you're pitching for one thing that is fucking monumental and can change your life and like put you in the history books. And then all of a sudden you're just pitching for the game at hand, which was a blowout. You're like, uh-oh. And then he gets the strikeout of the pinch hitter and calls it a day and passes it to Manny Benuelos, which is a fun story. So yeah, this is probably my favorite Cole outing of the season.
Yeah, interested to see going forward. We know sometimes Cole does get nibbly and go for the strikeouts. This is a easy team to attack for sure, or feel confident about attacking them.
There's a little retribution because this was the team
right.
where he nibbled the most in Detroit and had the shortest outing because he wouldn't just throw it in the zone and he walked so many people. So it was a little bit of the storyline there.
His last 8 starts, he has a 2.03 ERA. Again, just part of how comical and good this Yankees rotation has been of late. He's really good, man. He's very much Gerrit Cole. We love Nestor Cortez Jr., love Jameson Taillon, love Sevy. Hell love us some Monty. I will go back to our Yankee office muse briefly. I saw Dan Rourke walking the streets before I got into the office, which was funny, seeing him in society. And then we both went into Dunkin'. It was like, yeah, yo. And then he casually, this is a Friday morning at Dunkin' Donuts, and Dan Rourke goes, if the World Series was today, who'd you want starting game 1? And we both looked at each other, and you go through the options, and, Nestor's been the best pitcher in the... What's
Homer
that?
Homer on the road is what I'd say. Nestor's
been the best pitcher in the American League, second best ERA-wise. Jameson Taillon just dropped. He's was number 2 in the Yankees rotation. Gerrit Cole, you guys know everyone. It's still obviously Gerrit Cole. His stuff, and when he's right, and if you want to go hamstring last wild card game, but yeah, he's being Gerrit Cole, and that's pretty cool.
It is. It is. Good stuff. Gerrit.
Gerrit.
Who's your pride of the Yankees?
Jim.
Yeah?
I think I might do a little bit of funny business here.
No.
Because pride is an interesting word, right?
Nothing to joke about here.
Pride's a really interesting thing, right?
Oh, no.
And I think I might be going with the longest tenured Yankee.
Oh, no.
Manny Banuelos. James, we have heard about Manny Banuelos for years. And I get a little more romantic about the baseball stories than you. Or the minor league baseball stories. You dig into the real side of it is like, wow, maybe you should have gave up on it. Manny Banuelos, who, by the way, got a little bit of his. He's been in the show before, with Atlanta, and then he popped up with the White Sox a few years back. He ends up back in the Yankees org. He has a great spring training. The Yankees injury bug hits. He gets the call up, and then it was a couple games there. He doesn't get in the game, and you start doing that other side of baseball tales like, hey, we got to get Manny Banuelos in this game. He comes in 2 innings, shut piece. He gets his Yankees strikeout. And man, he is 31 years old. And he finally makes his Yankees debut, going from being a top prospect in 2011 to where he is now. It's cool to see him wearing the pinstripes and getting out there. So my pride of the Yankees is Manny Banuelos.
I appreciate the sentimental one. Just feel bad for a guy because I don't think I'm going to give him an award because I have other awards lined up.
Sure.
I feel like he deserved a pride.
Hey, play your game, man.
I will.
You got first. You can do whatever you want.
I actually haven't even thought about MFer yet.
You Yankee motherfucker.
Is there an easy option?
You tell me.
Besides just like a layup. Oh my goodness, there's not, dude. It's just the same guys. They swept. You know, the last couple years,
Yeah.
I've always said sweeps, you still got to do MFer. Them's the rules.
You've been adamant about it.
But they're really good this year, and it's just the same 2 guys over and over, and I just feel awful about it. I don't know.
Okay.
Castro
Okay. Let's hear it.
gave up 2 hits, didn't even get 3 outs. Only other person to give up more than 2 hits went 6.1 innings. So you lose you lose. But then I feel bad, like, because that's rude to Castro to put it on his record.
Okay.
So Gallo.
So Gallo gets the MFer.
No, Gallo doesn't. Hicks.
BBD's typed a lot of letters on the keyboard. Who is Jimmy? We're going to do Yankee MFer. Who's your Yankee MFer?
Hicks.
Okay. It's tough.
Who's yours?
You going to explain it or no?
No.
Okay.
Because of his situation, he made our starting left fielder go to the minors and get sad. I mean, in the last in the 10-game run that Andujar was up, he was the starting left fielder, started 9 of the 10 games. Hicks started, I'll say 8 because he was injured for 2 that they sat him, but they said he was available. Said 4. He started 4 out of the 8 or 4 out of the 10, depending on how hard that or bad that injury really was. And I'm not going to blame Andujar for having a contract. I understand the business side. But that stinks, man. That's what Boone said in his press conference. So he's like, yeah, he's obviously been starting for us, but that's the way he crumbled. And if they weren't 23 games over 500, I wonder what they would have done with that decision. If they were in the middle of that slog with the Rays and the Jays and wins weren't as easy to come by, would it have been Andujar or would they have done something creative? But yes, right now, he's got a roster spot, Hicks, because he doesn't have options left. They can't send him down. Doesn't have trade value. They can't trade him. But he's got a roster spot. And Andujar doesn't, and Andujar's outplaying him. So, Hicks.
Good Yankee MFer. Yeah, tough.
Yo, I don't know if you have the Rangers game on, but Igor just did like a fantastic sell job. Like took a stick to the face and then like did like if you were in a movie and you're like, all right, now fake like you took a bullet to the head and jump backwards.
Right.
Got a penalty out of it.
That picture of him with the home crowd behind him is as iconic as it gets.
Yeah.
Good, tough MFer, racking him up this year. And thank God you passed on Castro because it's Castro, Jim. He hasn't been getting used a lot. Since May 19th, he's only made 6 appearances now. And in half those appearances, he's given up earned runs. And this was a time when he was kind of needed to step up. Like, remember the first month or so of this season where he was like our crazy bonus piece? Like Miguel Castro would come out in a 6th or 7th inning and be lights out. And we'd be like, oh my God, you're not Joely Rodriguez. This is incredible. He's kind of, we've been looking for some higher leverage bullpen innings, and he's half flunked the dunk a little bit. So I will go Castro. Again, there was that period of time where he like didn't get used at all. Since May 22nd, he's only had 3 appearances. One of those is 0.1 innings. So there's kind of something going on with Miguel Castro. I don't know if it's Yankees just playing it super safe and conservative, or maybe he's a rust guy. Like maybe he needs the regular appearances to be sharp. I'll get that theory starting to form because his recent numbers just are mid, and I don't like
that. Hey. Ranger score.
Yep.
Well, I would want to look into like a lane. Like, is there a pattern we don't know about when they use them and when they use him and who they use him against, and it really has to show itself. Like Litke, like the way we know that if there's not these batters in this series, Litke's gonna disappear. Like I don't know. I'm curious, genuine. If we were to dig in, is that why suddenly he's gone for a little bit or not? But in this game, I don't know if you saw like I think Rizzo stops that ball and the run doesn't score 9 out of 10 times because he's that good. And the Miggy Cabs hit, I mean, he was 3 for 3, and that was kind of like a little just like he just flicked his wrist too, right?
It was Miggy Cabs Day at the stadium, so gave out bobbleheads and stuff. I don't know. It's tough because he's kind of wild. So I was gonna say he was maybe our middle inning get out of innings guy, but with runners on base, we saw with the wild pitch pass ball today. So I don't know. I'm gonna go on a keep Miguel Castro regular hunt because he's 6'7" and it's like he slings it anyway. So I think even if the appearances get up there, that's okay.
It's tough to keep any of these guys regular when the starters are going so good and then they're winning so big.
Yeah, we went from overusing the pen to like fighting to get guys innings, which like Licky's like a missing person on this team. Licky hasn't pitched since May 28th.
It's just, the starters have been so good. They should go to a 4-man bench.
Yeah. Well, they already are a 4-man bench.
Oh, yeah, you're right. With McKay down.
Go to 5. Screw it.
Right? All right, my first award.
Marinacio's out there.
He's still on there?
Yeah.
My first award, Jake,
Yeah.
is, and this is a classic one. This is I didn't know if this was going to fully show up. And then it kind of like, it's the Averechts Award, obviously.
Ah, boy.
I think I wouldn't doubt if 100 people thought Averechts when Joey Gallo hit that home run. I wouldn't doubt if 1,000 people thought
My guess is Joey Gallo.
Yeah, good guess. That thought it when he hit that home run. Now, I appreciate the homer, tied the game. But I was at a point with Joey Gallo before this game, because in game 2, he goes 0 for 3, 3 Ks, bad strikeouts. Like, dude, what? Bad strikeouts. And for the first time before Sunday's game, I said, oh, shit. Like, is DFAing Gallo an actual thing? Like, is he going to have no trade suitors and they just need to replace him and that's what happens? Because, you have the DFA crowds and they always want to DFA everybody, even though like, well, they wouldn't DFA him. They'd trade him or they'd option him or whatever. I still don't know. It was just the first time I thought, like, is that actually going to be an option? Because he's, like, bad. And then he hits that home run, and I'm like, oh, how much more time does that buy him? And then they pinch hit for him 2 at-bats later, so I'm like, well, maybe it didn't. Maybe it wasn't. So I don't know. That was all my thoughts.
Yeah, there's as per usual with Joey, there's a lot to unravel there.
And there's a whole nother conversation too on top of this, about his defensive positioning, which I was going to give the push come to shove award because he's only played right field since Andujar came, and he's looked fine. What are you going to do? Because Stanton's healthy now. Judge is there. Stanton wants to play the field. Judge is now a center fielder. He's played like 8 of his last 9 games at center field. But what are you going to do?
Yeah, interested to see. Look at the Yankees' upcoming schedule a little bit because we have seen Stanton play a solid left field, but he kind of can't patrol Yankee Stadium left field because it's massive. It's I had people tweeting at me potential Yankees outfield rotation series to series, and I very much appreciate that. I'm still kind of shocked that they haven't tried a center field Gallo at some point because it points to that everything he can do that. I thought an Averechts Award might happen here. There's a part of me
you're
that,
one of the 1,000.
There's a part of me that is intrigued by 9-hole Joe, Joey 9 holes, just because. Hey, he's been better out of the 9-hole this year. And it feels like the defensive thing, confidence, as I've talked about the last few shows, I'm starting to think the left field stuff tied into that. Because in his games playing right field, his hitting has been better. Because we're coming off an Angels series where his hitting stats ended up looking fine. And now he hits a big game-tying home run in this series. So, I don't know. Cuddy, our guy, just wrote an article about Joey Gallo and kind of the Yankees' options. I thought that was really well done. What was the? If you don't want, you don't rip the article, I guess. But what was some of the options that? He laid out the like Phantom IL, keep playing him, DFA him or trade him, and he kind of did the realism of those options. And not to freak you out, but DFA and trade both. He was kind of like seem very low options. So I think the Yankees are kind of in bed with Joey. Obviously, if things get bad and you get up to the trade deadline,
get bad.
Well, they can get worse, surprisingly. I think they're going to try out every option. Like we're saying right now, play him in right field, help play him in center field. I think you need to flush out, and I think they're going to flush out every option, because if they can tap into something with him in the 9 hole and he can become a 780 OPS player out of the 9 hole, then it's not what you wanted, but it's a different kind of solution. So, I don't know.
780. Kill for 780.
I know.
Get bad, and I don't know. We're still talking about him like, I don't get it. People still say he can carry a team when he's hot. What are you talking about? What are we talking about?
Right.
Chris Carter was the home run leader the season before. What are we talking about?
Right.
It's been a lot of games. I mean, we're hoping for 700 OPS. I mean, this is 500 right now.
Yeah, 102 games with the Yankees, a 653 OPS in that time. So,
feels like it's just not working.
yeah, I mean, in the scope of baseball, it could be considered a big or a small sample. I think they're going to keep testing out right field.
So what do you think? They're going to put Stanton in left?
Shocked that they haven't tried him in center yet. I would have to look at their schedule. Stanton just coming off the IL. We know they haven't done that. They're going to at Minnesota, and they host.
That's why push coming to shove with the situation. Are you going to put Stanton back in left, or are you going to put Gallo back in left?
I mean, I'd try Stanton. Like that's the thing where we just hit a third of this season mark. We still got 2/3 to play with. Like there's still some experimenting and stuff we can try.
If you try, I don't know. I wouldn't fuck with Stanton. He says, sure, put me in left. I don't care. Okay, put him in left. If Stanton says no, like if Judge is in center, I'll play right.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've clearly seen from Stanton that those kind of old thoughts are out the window. He's pretty adamantly said, I like playing the field.
Absolutely, but they played him in right field because they don't want to injure him.
Right, but that's not a Stanton thing. That's a Yankees thing.
No, that's what I'm saying. If it is a Stanton thing and we don't know, or if they really care about that, I don't mess with Stanton.
Yeah. I don't think they are, but
getting Gallo right
isn't
and shouldn't be a thought anymore.
Right.
That's how far gone we are, but everyone's optimistic still, which unbelievable. I can't believe it. I don't understand it.
100 games could be a small sample or a large sample in baseball.
I mean, he's played worse than this in his career at times.
He's played a lot better than this in his career at times.
He might be the worst hitter I've seen. Like, it's unbelievable. He's a head case. Took an 0-2 fastball down the middle with bases loaded and then turned to the ump. Be like, where was that?
Yep.
It's kind of nuts.
Even when it's going well, it's not pretty.
What's that?
And even when he's going well, it's just not the most fun watch.
No, yeah. So
doesn't have that going for him.
But then they pinch hit for him, and I was like, oh, it's not Averechts because he already got benched.
Was that Soto?
Soto, I think.
Soto
yeah.
for Stanton. Yeah. It's a good pinch hit. What else you got?
You're up.
Okay. Thank you. My first award, leading up to the prestigious last award of the show, I am going to go with Afterthoughts Award. Afterthoughts Award.
Judge.
No. James, we're sitting here on a historic baseball team pace. Every Yes Network fact they put out there, every time a Yankees team has gone out to a start like this, they've won the American League. The Yankees are on pace to win 117 games.
I hate those things that they're...
Everything is rainbows and butterflies except for you. They're torturing you, apparently. Jimmy, something that's become just an actual afterthought. In our bullpen right now, in theory, there's only two guys we really like. Mike King and Clay Holmes. After that, it's like Wandy, who we love, but he's still Uncle Wandy to a degree. Like you go back 3 weeks, and Wandy was like our 7th guy out of the bullpen. Clay Holmes, the robot horse, is now up to 26 innings scoreless. He is the Yankees closer, a guy that we got for like throw-in minor leaguers. He is one of the, if not the best reliever in baseball. He is closing games. He hasn't given up a run in 24 appearances. And there's so much other good stuff and exciting things going on with this team. He's just become an afterthought. It's not a story. It's not, you're not seeing anyone. There's no articles about Nestor and how Nestor was a 35th round pick and is Judge winning the MVP and what Glaber's bounced back. Nobody even cares. He's an afterthought because he's so good and so boring. 26 innings, 12 hits, 3 walks, no earned runs, and 28 strikeouts to the tune of a 0 ERA. And he's the closer for the New York Yankees.
Nasty. Visibly nasty. I liked how when Coney was talking about the difference between Loizaga's two-seamer and Clay's, and how he said Loizaga's is a two-seam fastball. It's got arm side run. Clay Holmes is a sinker. Everything is a devil dive dip. Falls off the table. It's very similar to like Britton's pitch, even though Britton's a lefty. Like, it's kind of cool.
Bowling balls. Yeah, and I think I'll throw this out there a little bit. Spoiled Yankee fans, back at you. I think on any other team, and not even just talking about all the winning, like if there was a Houston team that was winning like this or Atlanta or whatever, but going back to the Yankees being like Mariano Rivera to like prime Aroldis Chapman, like closers don't just do this.
No, it's bizarre.
And it's an afterthought. So good job, Robot Horse.
We have been petitioning for Wandy to be high leverage back end Wandy since the start of the season. And we saw again today that, or this series, that throw that Wandy made. Yeah. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, that is such a, he threaded the needle. That was such a nice play.
He's a gamer, man.
He's a gamer. Awesome.
Gamer.
My next award is the Nerds.
Okay.
Award.
The Nerds Award.
And it goes, who it goes to is in the award itself.
The Nerds. Is it going to the Nerds?
2 for 2.
Okay, not bad.
2 for 2 out of you.
Not bad.
It's going to Matt Blake and his gaggle of nerds.
Yeah.
I heard a cool story that I don't know if it's public or not. I don't know. Like it sounds very Lindsay Adler-esque, but I don't know if she wrote about it. That at the end of the year last year, the Yankees, for the first time, they'd never done this before, maybe other teams have, sent all their pitchers down to Tampa to the gas station where they have all the technology that, what's the thing that tracks the pitches that they put in the middle of the field? Starts with an R, I think.
No, there's
Rapsodo.
Yeah, the Rapsodo machine and all that stuff. And at the end of the season, when they were kind of in flow and feeling good, tracked each pitch, the slot that they were releasing it from, the grip, the pressure point, the spin, so that when they came back, and then gave them workouts and stuff to do during the off season to keep them going, which, I mean, you and I have been blown away that you would think that's normal,
right, but
it's not. And then in spring, when they came back, they threw, and then they were very easy to be like, oh, wait, your arm slot just moved on your fastball. Like it was here at the end of last year. Let's get it back. And to help them get back into the flow quicker. Now, I don't know if other teams do this, but I heard it's the first time the Yankees did that. And I think it just is a good sample of the overhaul they did on their when they hired Matt Blake, when they got rid of all the pitching coaches from AAA, AA down, besides one guy I think survived, and just retooled the entire program so they were teaching the same things. Now that was a cool nugget that I got to share with the Talkin' Yanks crowd because all 5 starters are fucking in the top 20 in ERA. It's nuts.
Coming into this year, we kind of said, like, what would Jameson Taillon truly be this year? And will Nestor stick in the rotation? What do you do with Nestor Cortez Jr.? That was a popular Yes Network segment. And I was laughing because I was thinking back to when we had our day in Stanford on Yes, and everyone was all excited for us. We were prepped on some stuff, and we're like, yeah, we can talk Yankees all day, so don't worry about it. Let's knock ourselves out. Jack Curry turned to me and he goes, Jake, you think Nestor's going to repeat this year? And I was like, I hope so. Because let's be honest, like drinking that Kool-Aid was tough. You wanted to believe. They're incredible, man. And it's, you and I, we march around little guys talking about the Yankees, whether it's talking baseball or wherever we pop up. And we tried to tell anyone that would listen, like, the pitching was really good last year. Like the problem with the New York Yankees was their hitting, and people still didn't really believe that because you still look at the names in the Yankees lineup and you're like, I don't know, man. Like those Yankees will get you. Yankees hitting was bad last year, and their pitching has now even taken another step, which makes sense. As Matt Blake's system becomes more established throughout the organization. And, you can look at pretty much every name, whether it's Clay Holmes, who's now our closer. Heck, Wandy is a 2-7 guy since he's been a Yankee. That's over 60 appearances now. Michael King in his development. Like our bullpen right now as a whole is Holmes, King, Castro, Peralta, Marinaccio, Litke, Banuelos, Schmidt. Like, let that sink in for a second. So, yeah, the nerds kind of they might know what they're doing.
Maybe.
Yeah,
the nerds. Good job.
Good job, the nerds. You got more?
Up.
Okay. I was gonna give out the College Dorm Room Award.
Oh, this is you given this out before, I believe, right?
No, I don't think so.
What was it? I thought you gave out this one before.
You thought a lot of things.
8th grade girl, didn't you give that out?
I mean, that's totally different.
What did you just say?
Well, I guess for you, that 8th grade girl in your dorm room. But I'm giving out the Dorm Room Award.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't you give out the She's Only 17 award that one time?
I sure did.
This is a different vibe?
Completely different vibe.
All right, cool. College dorm room. Just a bunch of guys having fun.
Yep.
Maybe like hungover, recapping the night before, laughing. Rizzo.
Jimmy, you get in that college dorm room and you're like, all right, like I made it. I'm here. I got to college. And then you're like, well, I got to decorate. Let me put up some sweet posters, dude. I had some sweet ones. I think I threw up a Fight Club one.
You sure did.
Couple just straight up bitchin' posters to show that I was cool. Jim, there's something the college kids don't do that you don't really appreciate. You don't frame those posters.
Why not?
Because you're lazy and you're a kid and nothing matters. But Jim, and this kind of ties into your nerds a little bit, they bought into the framing, and that's part of the reason they got Jose Trevino in town. Jose Trevino, again, the best at framing in the biz, deserves to be talked about more because on the season, he has an 800 OPS. Don't get me wrong, you get fed a free triple, that helps. But the guy's been a freak show for a while now. Again, as I swoon about Clay Holmes being the closer for the New York Yankees, Trevino's racking up WAR on both sides of the ball. He's been a hitting fool for a little while now. If you want a Jakey butter knife of it, he's been a 1.065 OPS catcher for his last 15 starts. Like, we go over on Talkin' Baseball the hitting stats from around the league, and by catcher, it gets sad pretty quick. Yeah. There's not a lot of catchers that hit. Jose Trevino, in a way, he's passing the eye test because he's got a really good bat-to-ball skill. I mentioned it during his slump that he wasn't striking out at all. Like, he's putting a charge into some balls, man. He's got 4 homers in his last 20 games. The guy has been awesome. We are now extremely biased to him because he came to our office and he's the man. But he's also been legitimately balling on the field. And he was only brought in for his pitch framing. And now he's doing it on the other side too.
He's kind of done it all, man. Like, he had that dance around home. He's got the back pick last thing he's got. I mean, the home run was real, like you said. Gets to third. Yeah, he is the Yankees. So I've been trying to tell people.
He's been one-dotting for a month.
He is the Yankees. Yeah, I had a funny conversation with someone on Twitter who was like, and I saw someone on Reddit say this as well. It said something along the lines of, "Enough, make him the starter." And I was like, he is.
Yeah.
He is the starter. He started, I think, 9 of the last 14 games. And they're like, have him start more. And I'm like, no, that is what the starter does. Like, last year, I think I did the math, the top 15 catchers in baseball last year averaged like 60, 80 games started.
Right.
And that's the top 15. That's not, I took out all the platoon guys. Like, starting catchers don't start a lot.
Yeah.
I remember doing that in 17 with Gary, and I compared it to Jorge. I'm like, look, even Jorge, like, this isn't like that new. It's a little less now. Like, Jorge did 4 out of 5, or 8 out of 10, which is 80 out of 100.
Math.
But yeah, Trevino is the starting catcher. If you're out there thinking like, why are they still platooning? Because you see Higgy a day after night or every now and then, like, Trevino started, I think, 9 of the last 14 or something like that now, which is around 60%, which is 60% is what the top 15 did last year. There's like Salvi. No, actually, I looked at Salvi started a bunch, but he gets a lot of DH days, and so did Real Muto. It's like at catcher position, and like Trevino's not going to DH, so he's not going to not be a catcher. So yeah, he is our starting catcher right now, and he's awesome.
Bingo.
I feel bad we didn't say anything about Judge. I just hope that at the end of the season, we don't like go back and count Pride of the Yankees or count awards. And we're like, how did Judge not win? So I don't know if he's got the most yet on this season, but he had a 4-hit game, another hit. I don't know, he's playing center field now. Pretty nuts.
Yeah. Judgy with the Mammo series per usual. Rizzo with the 2 homers and the 2 stolen bases, speed kills.
Then scoring.
Yeah, I mean, he was totally trying to redeem himself for that ball that went under his glove, and he did. Got a little bit of help from Los Tigres, but we'll take it. Pat myself on the back for Kiner. He goes 4 for 10. I think his glove is definitely going to spark his bat for the next little bit. Stanton and Donaldson are back. They don't really do much this series, but...
Well, I mean, Stanton only had, 5 at-bats?
Yeah.
And he had a rocket double off the guy's glove. It would have been a really nice catch. I mean, he hit that pretty flush. And Donaldson maybe got the tip. Donaldson had 2 sack flies. One won the game.
Right.
Judge has 4 prides, which would looks like is second on the team. Nestor has 7.
Jesus Christ. But it adds up. Nestor's been amazing.
MVP and Cy Young. So
I think Nestor right now has the lowest ERA of all qualified.
Martin didn't jump him.
Well, I think he just gave up.
He's pitching right now.
Yeah.
And I Suarez got him.
And I think Feo said that in the chat. I saw it somewhere recently.
I'll believe Feo to my grave. DJ LeMahieu, 3 walks, led the team. So
that was interesting how Gallo was up and the pitcher threw fastballs right down the middle. And then DJ was up and he didn't want to throw anything in the zone.
Couldn't find the zone. Funny sport.
Severino, he's awesome.
Yeah, we talked about him a lot.
There's like a lot of guys that like need awards because everyone's playing well, basically, besides Hicks, Gallo. That's it. But Rizzo getting hot's good. I mean, who's next? The Cubs are this weekend. Who's the week?
The Twins. They're going to Minnesota for 3, and then they come back for another homestand. Cubs and Rays.
Cubs and Rays. Okay. Cool. I mean, Twins are playing well. A lot of familiar faces. A lot of fun times. Better than the Tigers.
And another Monday off day, and they've got another Monday off day after that. So they're kind of like all hands on deck. They essentially could lose a bullpen guy and have kept Andujar.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's got bad vibes all over it, but there's good vibes everywhere else. You know?
Yeah.
I do feel bad for him. It's a little bit bullshit, man. So when I'm here, I'm your starting left fielder every single day. But because you can get rid of me easily, you're going to do that. Because you don't want to make a tougher decision somewhere else. You're just going to send me down. Like, I fully understand his frustration.
They don't have to make a decision.
Yeah, I know. And I understand it from the Yankees business side of things, dude. I kind of... It with a 24 games lead or 24 games up over 500, you have the wiggle room to get Hicks hot and work him into work him into the 4th outfield eventually. You have the wiggle room to get Gallo hot, to move Gallo, to do whatever you want. Like you shouldn't just cut a guy just because the numbers say it because you're up. But it's tough. It sucks for man, it sucks for fucking Andujar.
Yeah, it's it's the business of baseball a little bit, and you know I'm as big of an Andujar stan as there's been the past couple years, but he it's not like he was going gangbusters. I think people would be a lot more loud. He was giving good at bats, and he was getting a hit here and there. His numbers don't jump off the screen, which I think. If they did, this conversation would be a lot more rowdy. So
yeah, but I mean, compare him to the guys that are there over him.
Right. I mean, he's got a 596 OPS on the year.
Yep. But in those games that he was playing every day, he reached base, all of them. Like he reached on every game he started. Besides that, and was looking fine in left field. Brought a different approach. They got some runs off of his errors and fielders' choices and that stuff. So tough. Yeah. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's everything.
Send it.
Good up. Go Yanks. So what pitchers now? Monty just went. It was just Cole, Sevi, Monty. So now
Nestor,
it's Nestor,
Tyone, Cole.
in Minnesota. Nestor, Tyone, Cole. Our top three, ERA wise.
We'll be talking about it
Actually,
Tuesday.
hey, what did Monty's ERA just go to on the year? Are they all under 3 now?
I think Monty stayed.
I thought he was at 302.
He's at 302.
Oh, it just stayed the same?
Apparently.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. All right, cool. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later. Go Yanks. Go Rangers.
He was 304 to start the day, so it went down 0.2 points.
Okay. Well, hard to lower a 302, 304 ERA. You got to go shutout.
Don't tell that to
basically.
the other guys in the rotation.
I know. Monty's our worst starter at 304.
He's got
302
options. Something to think about. We'll talk about it Tuesday.
Goodbye. Go Yanks. Tell him, Grams.
Go Yankees.